Hi everyone, PokeRogue came out with a pretty sizable update. I'm actually really excited to talk about it here, so let's just, jump into the meat and potatoes. So, hello, announcements, happy September. Our newest update is here. Please check changelog and balance changelog for further details once both of those are up. A short summary of the major additions include run history, save up to 25 runs per device, and then a new challenge modifier. So inverse mode, all of your type matchups are flipped. So if you remember Pokemon X and Y had an inverse battle, it means now that water type is resisted. No, water type is fire is super effective on water. There you go. Flips the type chart. So Pokemon like Parasect become pretty good because Parasect typically has terrible defenses. Probably now has insane defenses. And yeah, we've got new evil teams. Test your skills against 3 new evil teams: Skull, Aether, and Marco's Cosmos. That's actually something I was kind of pushing for. When the evil teams came out, I was saying to Damo, I was like, one of the balancing people of the dev team, I was like, hey, are these guys at all possible? And I'm just glad that they're finally added. And then there's a new biome layout. This is not the biome change that they're planning. They're planning on like a big overhaul of the Pokemon that spawn in all the biomes. This is not that, but I think they've made it easier to get to certain areas, like as it shows down here in this little graphic, the beach, or I think it's island. They've made it a little bit easier to get to island. I got some clarity on what run history is. Think of the Hall of Fame. That's pretty much what it is. It's just the Hall of Fame. It's the run history tab here. They also moved the voucher tab to the achievements tab, which if you click space, you can now see your vouchers here. So yeah, that's where that is. And this is what the run history is for. Edit. Players now can choose the default location of the shop cursor in settings display. We have more sound related settings, so remember to adjust these to your preferences. Okay, let's have a look. I imagine the title and thumbnail of this video is going to be about how they've changed Gigantamax forms. And we are going to get into that, I promise. The Gigantamax form rebalance, they basically tried to make them closer to how Mega Evolutions are. I'm really excited to talk about that. But before we do, let me go to settings. There's apparently some new sound settings. Oh, there's UI volume, sound effect volume, field volume, background music. I'm probably just gonna put all of this to 70, and then the background music can stay at 50. You can just you can change the shop overlay opacity. I thought it was a bit dark, so I'm gonna put it to 50 for now. And then the shop cursor target, check team shop. Okay, so I guess this is nice for maybe people playing endless. You can just spam the reroll button. I think I'm fine with it being on check team, to be honest, but that's cool. Anyways, Gigantamax state form rebalance. This is what it's came in. We're not going to be looking at it through this lens. I will make it prettier for you guys, I promise. But really fast, if you come here to the Discord, Gigantamax state/form rebalance has finally come. Each Gigantamax form has been looked over and adjusted to be closer to how Megas are designed, notably with one ability set, unique ones for some. So for example, I think Gigantamax Venusaur, I think used to, I don't remember, but I think if you had Overgrow Venusaur, it would just be GMAX Overgrow, and if you had Chlorophyll Venusaur, you'd have GMAX Chlorophyll. They made it now so even if you have a Overgrow Venusaur, when you GMAX it, it will have Chlorophyll. They just have one set ability, and for example, Blastoise has a different one than what Blastoise usually gets, I think. We're gonna go over it. They changed the stats of them too. Yeah, new evil teams have been added from Generation 7 and 8 are now in the game. Existing saves will likely change what evil team you're currently facing. Please keep this in mind. Ooh. I'm currently doing the Mono Fairy run, which I'll be streaming later today. And I'm meant to be facing Team Plasma. So we'll see if that changes. So some passive and egg move changes. Ho-Oh has Magic Guard again. Yippee. I'm glad. I think that's much more fitting. Cresselia now has Shadow Shield instead of Unaware. Definitely less broken. Unaware Cresselia. Whew. Here, I'm gonna zoom in here. Hopefully make this a bit easier for you to read. The GMAX changes, which we'll cover separately. Egg changes. Drowsy has Dark Void instead of Spore. And Ho-Oh now has Precipice Blades instead of Solar Blade. Darkrai, Searing Shot/Spore has been replaced with Fiery Dance and Make It Rain. Okay. I don't really have too many opinions on like legendary changes because I don't really use legendaries. I will eventually have to, but hey ho. And then move changes. Eternatus Phase 2 has Sludge Bomb, replaced back with Cross Poison. Made 2 wallable with bulky special. Yeah, So whenever you face the Eternatus, you just picked up a special X defense, and you didn't have to worry about X defense at all. So this makes it a bit more diverse. You could argue Cross Poison, it is a worse move generally than Sludge Bomb, but Blissey, for example, can't wall Eternatus as easily now, which is always makes Eternatus a bit harder. Dark Void's accuracy has been changed back to its generation 4 to 6 implementation of 80% accuracy, up from 50%. That's fine. They've been reverting a lot of, like, for example, Protein and Libero, I believe, is the old implementation of it, where it changes every time you use the move. Whereas in Generation 9, the first turn you use the move, it changes your type, and then that's it. It doesn't change anymore. So it's Protein. I don't know. I think they maybe have the Gen 6 version of Gale Wings. I don't quite remember. Gale Wings got heavily nerfed as well. I don't remember which one they have in this game though, but yeah, they do that. They add like the older, more broken versions of things, which is fine. It's their own prerogative. Zippy Zap, the evil has been defeated, has been reverted back to its Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee implementation, and now functions as a 50 base power crit move with +2 priority over the 80 base power move, raises evasion +2 priority that caused the death of or extreme unfair prosperity of so many ones. I don't think I ever saw a trainer use Zippy Zap. Maybe I did, and I think I've maybe seen it like once, but it's never caused me to lose a run personally, which is thank God. But yeah, that move is definitely it was definitely overtuned, definitely a bit too much. Totally fine with this. There's TM compatibility fixes, and there's other things. Trainer Pokemon should now be fully evolved by Gym 3. Felt it was a bit off going that far into a run and fighting unevolved Pokemon. Partner Eevees plus GMAX and GMAX Pikachu now learn the signature move from Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee properly. Details are here. With the above, cosplay Pikachu forms no longer spawn max mushrooms or thunderstones in the item pool, thank God, because that was really annoying during my like mono psychic run or whatever I was doing, or mono electric as well. Plains is now less likely of a transition from the end biome in Endless. Cool. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. We're going to be looking at these changes right here. Actually, before I do, I wanted to quickly take a look at the biome transition changes, because, for example, it seems to be easier to get to Fairy Cave, which is good because I'm currently doing a mono fairy run. The game was lagging quite a bit, so I didn't manage to finish it in my last stream. So I'm going to be doing that today, and I'm literally in Meadow right now. And Meadow before this update had like a 50% chance of giving you Fairy Cave, but it seems now it's a 1-in-1 roll, which to me that's 100% chance, right? So after finishing Meadow in my current run, I will be going to Fairy Cave guaranteed. Whereas yesterday, it was a 50% chance. So that's cool, assuming my save file is updated. But yeah, they've updated all this. Feel free to look at this, screenshot this, whatever. These changes are not the biome rework. They are simply adjustments for now to help fix problems with the current map while work on that continues. Yeah, so they're planning, like I mentioned prior, they're planning on rebalancing like what Pokemon lives where, because they're not like satisfied with just how hard it is to get certain Pokemon and how easy it is to get some others. I think they're just going to maybe try and do some more diversity in the biomes in general. But yeah, this is some changes. I'm really happy to see this change. Definitely biased because I'm currently doing a run, but I mean, it seems like it's only a good thing. I'll have to actually play the game, but it seems like it's just making it a little bit easier to get to certain areas. Yeah, like for example, Beach to Island is a 1-in-2 roll, which I feel like it was like maybe like a 1-in-4 roll before. I could be wrong. Anyways, we're going to be using this Pokédex called the Yada Pokédex. I'll link in the description. This is a pretty up-to-date Pokédex for PokeRogue. And yeah, we're just going to be looking at the Gigantamax Pokemon changes. So unfortunately, we don't have the older version of their stats here. But what I can tell you is Venusaur has went from having, like I said, Overgrow to Chlorophyll. It's had all of its stats changed. Not all of the Pokemon have had every single stat change, but Venusaur has. Venusaur has went from having 100 HP to 120 HP. It's went from having 90 attack to 82 attack. It used to have 120 defense. It is now 98 defense, so its defense got nerfed. Special attack was 110. It is now 130, so its special attack has went up. Special defense used to be 130, now it's 115, so its special defense went down a bit. And its speed went from 75 to 80, and its base stat total now is 625, which is exactly 100 higher than, it's just like a mega evolutions gain 100 base stat totals. That's exactly what happened here with GMAX Venusaur. I feel like the only mega that didn't gain 100 base stat total is Alakazam. Alakazam 500, Mega Alakazam 6. Oh wait, I don't know what I'm thinking about. I feel like Alakazam got like nerfed to be like 490 base stat total at some point. Whatever. So yeah, as you can see, Venusaur has gained significant HP, a little bit less attack, a little bit less defenses, more special attack. It's more of a offensive Pokemon than a defensive Pokemon. It's like a nice alternative to Mega Venusaur, who is thick, fat, and who is just a bulkier Pokemon. GMAX is meant to be a bit. It's still bulky. It's got a nice HP stat, but it's a bit more offensive, especially with Chlorophyll. I just want to point out too, these yellow abilities, these are passives. So if you unlock Grassy Surge, then cool, you got Grassy Surge. Charizard has solar power, just like regular Charizard's hidden ability. I also want to point out Chlorophyll is also regular Venusaur's hidden ability, but like I said, if you're using Overgrow Venusaur and you get GMAX, you will get Chlorophyll, even if you've got Overgrow on your base Venusaur. GMAX Charizard here, solar power, same hidden ability as regular Charizard. Solar power is a good ability though, or a good hidden ability. This guy has he's had 5 of his stats changed. He used to have 98 HP, now he's 118. Okay, so they're definitely leaning into the GMAX, because in regular Pokemon, the way Gigantamax forms work, it would just double your HP stat and then give you a signature move. But the way PokeRogue does it, they want it to be more like a Mega Evolution, which I like a lot more, because it's giving these really cool designs, just, something, like, it's just, yeah, but they're leaning into the GMAX factor of like, okay, these are really big Pokemon, their HP is gonna go up, which I rate that. So it used to be 98 HP, now it's 118. Used to be 100 attack, now it's 84. Used to be 96 defense, now it's 93. Okay. Used to be 135 special attack, now it's 139. A little bit of a buff to the special attack. Its special defense is the exact same, and it gained 5 speed. So it used to be 95, now it's 100, which is the same as regular Charizard. Overall, probably a good thing. It's just leaning more into the special attacking nature of Charizard than it being a physical attacker, because it used to have that 100 attack, like I said. They're just leaning into it being a special attacker, which is perfectly fine, because if you want a physical Charizard, you take Mega Charizard X. But where it gets interesting is Blastoise, because regular Blastoise hidden ability is Rain Dish, whereas GMAX is Shell Armor. And Mega Blastoise has usually got Mega Launcher. So if 3 different Blastoise abilities, which is really neat. Shell Armor is usually not Blastoise's ability, so you can literally be running Torrent, Rain Dish, whatever, you're gonna get Shell Armor on your Blastoise when you GMAX it. This guy has not changed too much, actually. He's okay, he's had 5 stat changes. Went from 100 to 119 HP, so a buff to his HP. A nerf to his physical attack, went from 95 to 83. His physical defense stayed the same. His special attack went up from 105 to 115. His special defense went down from 125 to 115, and his speed went down from 75 to 68. Overall, oh, he's a water steel type now too. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. Okay, that's sick. Okay, that's sick. Did these guys change type? I don't think so, right? Okay, these guys didn't. This guy changed type. Wow, cool. I didn't even know they were changing types out here. I'm here for this. They're treating them like Mega Evolutions, which I think they deserve. Next is Butterfree. Butterfree's Gigantamax form is Compound Eyes, which, oh wait, it should be Tinted Lens now, right? I think apparently it changed to Tinted Lens. So the stats have changed, but the ability hasn't. Yeah, it should, it appears that GMAX Butterfree's ability is meant to be Tinted Lens. If this is to be believed, Compound Eyes, as you can see right here, is now Tinted Lens. I just want to add a quick note that I later discover that the Yada Dex is accurate, whereas the sheet I'm looking at was what Butterfree had in beta. So beta GMAX Butterfree had Tinted Lens, but at last minute was changed to Compound Eyes. It remains the bug flying type. It's gained 10 HP, so it went from 75 to 85. Ooh, it lost 15 attack, which is good, because you're never going to use physical Butterfree, so it's just going to take those 15 stats and put them elsewhere. It gained 5 in physical defense, so it went from 75 to 80. Its special attack remains the same. It went from 100 special defense to 90, so it dropped. And then it went from 75 speed to 85. So yeah, GMAX Butterfree, it's almost like a usable Pokemon. I think overall it is a buff. Then we have, it's Pikachu next, right? Let's just go through the list like this. There's quite a lot of Gigantamax forms. Pikachu next. Pikachu has Lightning Rod. It remains as Lightning Rod. Pikachu has had a big, oh wow, is Pikachu got some special treatment? I feel like Pikachu gains like 200. I mean, I feel like that's in line with what Pokemon would actually do. Pikachu gained literally 200 base stat total. Does this thing work with Light Ball? Oh my god. So Pikachu used to have a base stat total of 420. It is now 530. It literally gained like 2 Mega Evolution and then some worth of stats. It's went from 45 HP to 125 HP. I think this is fine because it's a not fully evolved Pokemon. I think it deserves it, right? I wonder if it works with Eviolite. Dude, I've got so many questions. Does Pikachu work with Eviolite? Does Pikachu work with Light Ball? Jesus Christ. It doesn't have the best defenses, but like with that HP stat, it can definitely cushion some hits. And it's only got one weakness, being an electric type. So Lightning Rod remains the same. Its attack stat went from 45 to 125. Am I reading this right? No, that's its HP. 145 to 125. Sorry, its base stat total changed, and that's throwing me off of the order, because usually it's like HP, attack, defense, whereas the first stat now I'm reading is base stat total. It's throwing me off. 125 HP instead of 45 HP, so 80 points into HP. 60 attack goes up to 95. Its defense goes from 60 to 95. No, that's just it. I'm doing it again. Its defense went from 65 to 60, so it dropped defense. Its special attack went from 100 to 90, so it dropped special attack. So it's now a mix. It's more physical, actually. I think it's probably the Volt Tackle. Its special defense went from 75 to 70, and its speed went from 75 to 90. So it's gained some speed, it's gained some physical attack, and it's gained a lot of HP. It says right here, plus 100 base stat total from the partner form. Okay. So they're applying it from this Pikachu, it seems. I'm not sure if you have to have this Pikachu to get this Gigantamax Pikachu stats, though. I imagine any Pikachu would be like this, but yeah, they're treating it as if it's partner Pikachu, I think. Well, not exactly. They're treating it like regular Pikachu, but they're doing the math of like, oh, plus 100 as if it was a partner Pikachu. Okay, that checks out. I wonder how they're going to justify Meowth if Meowth has crazy changes. Also, I was going to say, by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, please go ahead, show me by leaving a like. Probably a bit late into the video to say this, but if you guys want me to, please let me know in the comments. I was thinking of doing a tier list of all the GMAX and Mega evolutions and just like ranking them based on like which ones I think are most worth going for and like PokeRogue or whatever. I was thinking of doing a tier list of that. I'm not going to do that right now because I've already got a lot to cover here, but anyways, GMAX Meowth, 540 base stat total. I wonder what the justification is. Oh, it's plus 100 base stat total from Persian. They're going based on Persian? Good googly. I'm fine. Listen, GMAX Meowth is one of the most fire designs. GMAX Pokemon got done dirty. I'm so glad that like fan games are like keeping GMAX alive, because the GMAX designs are so good. Like especially like Meowth and Pikachu and Eevee. I love the GMAX designs. I'm so glad that they're being kept alive like this. So GMAX Meowth used to have Pick Up and Unnerve, which was just Meowth's regular abilities. It is now locked into having Technician, which I'm fine with. Technician's good fun. It has went from having a base stat total of 390 to a base stat total of 540. It used to have 50 HP. It now has 115. It used to have 85 attack. It now has 110 attack. Used to have 60 defense, and now has 65 defense. It used to have 70 special attack, and now has 65 special attack, so that's a bit of a drop. Used to have 50 special defense, and now has 70 special defense. Used to have 75 speed, and now has 115 speed. I didn't mean to click that. This is just an absolute buff to Meowth. This is crazy. I want to use one of these so bad, dude. This is going to be fire. I love this. I love this so much. I'm so excited, dude. It's like I'm like a kid on Christmas. Next up, GMAX Machamp. GMAX Machamp now has Guts just locked in. You know, used to be able to have Guts, No Guard, Steadfast. It's just Guts now. You can't have No Guard GMAX Machamp, just Guts. It went from having 113 HP to 115. 170 attack remains the same. It went from having 90 defense to 95. Its special attack went from 70 to 65, so it dropped its special attack down. Special defense remains at 95. Or yeah, okay. And then yeah, it went from 67 speed to 65. Okay, bit more of a nice rounded number. Not too many like changes to Machamp here. It was already pretty good, but it just makes it so it can't get No Guard anymore. Locking in that Guts ability and just gave it a little bit more HP. A little bit more defense, drop the special attack a little bit, you know. Not a bad change. Gengar! Okay. Yeah, I think they wanted to differentiate this a bit. So this thing has a cursed body, locked in on the cursed body. This thing used to have 75 HP, now has 140. Used to have 95 attack, it now has 65 attack. Used to have 85 defense, now has 70 defense. Used to have 160 special attack, it's been dropped to 140. Used to have 95 special defense, now has 85 special defense. It used to have 90 speed, now it's got 100 speed. Okay, so it's a bit more of a bulky Gengar. Interesting. I still think Mega Gengar is probably better in every single way, but hey, it's a different way to use Gengar. It's got a little bit more speed on it now, a little bit more defenses. They just allocated its stats a bit better. Next up is GMAX Kingler. I personally get really creeped out by this thing's design, but it went from having Hyper Cutter, Shell, Sheer Force, and Shell Armor to just Tough Claws now. Just guaranteed locked in Tough Claws. 70 HP goes up to 90 HP. 165 attack drops down to 155. Its defense goes from 145 to 140. Special attack goes from 60 to 50. So they're definitely like leaning more into like the Pokemon's good stats, which is perfectly fine. Its special defense went up from 70 to 80, and its speed went up from 65 to 70. So overall, just making Kingler a bit better, I would say. Next up is GMAX Lap. Still a water ice type. Boo. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's just not really a good type, to be honest. Also has Shell Armor. Can't be crit. Its HP went up from 160 to 170. Its attack goes down from 95 to 85. Its defense goes up from... Oh no, its defense goes down from 110 to 95. Its special attack goes from 95 to 115, so they're making it a little bit more offensive. Special defense goes down from 125 to 110, and its speed goes up from 50 to 60. Not sure how I feel about this one. This one, I feel like they made it a little bit weaker. You know, like I like Dragon Dance Lapras. I feel like they made that a little bit weaker. They took away its defenses a bit. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm kind of... Maybe I'm just missing something. It's very likely that I'm missing something here. Not really sure about the attack drop. The speed increase is nice, but it's just dropped the defenses. I guess overall they made it have more HP though. I don't know. We have an interesting one. EV, Gigantamax EV is going to be based on partner EV, I imagine, right? 100 plus 100 base stat total from its partner EV form. Yes, partner EV has 435. I feel like those stats are just not allocated well at all. But GMAX or Giga EV goes to 535. Dude, this thing is so cute. I love it. It's got protein, which is nice. That's exciting. I actually really like GMAX EV. Its stats are really just, you know, kind of like, this is like Mario. As if Mario was a Pokemon, you know, it's just like good at everything, you know, it's just good at everything. It doesn't really excel at everything. But looking at it, locked in on protein, which is very fitting. 425 based on total to 535 based on the partner EV, obviously. Regular old EV. Wait, what does regular old EV have? 325. Yeah, regular old EV's gained like 200 plus. Yeah, went from having 70 HP to 105, 70 attack to 95. 75 defense to 70, 80 special attack to 95, 60 special defense to 85, and 45 speed to 85 speed. So it just overall made, I mean, you know, EV Gigantamax a lot more usable, which I'm down for. Depends on if it can be used with Eviolite. I don't see why it wouldn't be able to be. But yeah, Snorlax GMAX, still a pure normal type, locked in on Harvest now. Although this document that I'm looking at says that it's thick fat. So wait, am I looking at the wrong Pokemon? No, I'm not. What's the truth? All right, so I finally got an answer from one of the junior junior devs. So this little page that I'm looking at here, this is what was in beta. And then what actually came out was what's on the Yida Dex. So in beta, Snorlax was a normal grass type with thick fat, but actually what's released is a pure normal Snorlax with Harvest. Harvest used to be its passive, but now it's Ripen. So now Harvest is GMAX Snorlax's you know, ability, it seems. Snorlax used to have 200 HP, still has 200 HP, 130 attack, it's now 135. Its defense used to be 85, it's now 80. Special attack used to be 75, it is now 80. Special defense used to be 130, it is now 125. And its speed used to be 20, it is still 20. Overall, makes Snorlax a little bit less bulky, a little bit stronger. Then we have GMAX Garbodor, which is a poison steel type. It has Toxic Debris as an ability, so that's another change. This thing used to have 100 HP, it now has 135 HP. It still remains to have the same attack and defense stat. The beta version of this had a higher attack stat of 135 apparently. Yeah, its special attack went down from 80 to 57, and its special defense is 102 still, and its speed went down from 65 to 53. Overall, I don't know if it's a buff or not. Poison Steel, it's like anti-fairy type. It's got a huge weakness to Earthquake now. It's a little bit weaker than what it was in beta, but it's got more HP. I don't know. I think it's a more interesting Pokemon for sure. Of course, then there's GMAX Melmetal. This thing honestly is kind of just like regular Melmetal, but just kind of like bigger stats, you know, bigger number, better person. It still's got Iron Fist, you know, not really anything crazy changed here. GMAX Rilla. GMAX Rillaboom, from the beta to the actual, released version of Rillaboom, it's changed significantly. The beta was going to have 95 special defense, but this one actually has 85, and the beta was going to have 65 special defense, but this one was 85. I think one of the criticisms that they got from the GMAX forums is that they were overtuned, whereas Mega Evolution rarely took stats away and allocated them elsewhere. Every GMAX form pretty much takes stats away and allocates them elsewhere. So I think that was one of the criticisms. So I think they toned it down a bit because, like, I mean, Rillaboom doesn't need 95 special defense. He's already insane, So I think, taking his special attack down from, I think it was 90 to 65, I think it was just a bit too much. So it's now 85, it seems. I went from 90 to 85 his defense, or his special attack went from 75 to 85. It's more in line with, I think, the design philosophies of actual Mega Evolutions, which is what they're going for here. So they're not overtuning them as much. And then, yeah, he's got Grassy Surge. So even if you've got an Overgrow Rilla, it will get Grassy Surge if it G-maxes, which is just very powerful. And then we've got Libero Cinderace. So guaranteed to have Libero and Cinderace if you G-max, even if you're starting the game for the first time, you decide to bring Scorbunny. This adds a lot of value to Scorbunny, in my opinion, because now you're not just running Cinderace G-Max with Blaze, you're running G-Max Cinderace with Libero, Gen 6 Libero at that. So like, this is huge. Still got 100 HP. His attack went up by 1 point. It used to be 145, it's now 146. His defense went down from 90 to 80. His special attack went up from 75 to 90. His special defense went down from 90 to 80, and his speed went up from 130 to 134. So yeah, I think this is more in line with how Game Freak would probably design a Mega Evolution. Next up is GMAX Inteleon. GMAX Inteleon actually lost some HP. It went from having 100 to 95. Or no, actually, that's a lie. That's the attack stat. My bad. I misread it. It went from having 90 HP to 95. It went from having 100 attack to 97. It went from having 90 defense to 77 defense. 150 special attack down to 147. 90 special defense to 77 special defense, and 110 speed all the way up to 137 speed. So overall, I think that's a buff to Inteleon. They just, instead of making him like an overall kind of like bulky, fast-ish attacker, he's like leaning a lot more into the speed and special attack side of things, which is fitting. And he's got Sniper, of course, as his ability. Then we have GMAX Corviknight, Mirror Armor, of course, which is just Corviknight's hidden ability, I think, usually. Or is it just, yeah, it's his hidden ability usually. It's not implemented, unfortunately, but GMAX Corv gained a little bit of a buff to its HP, went from 125 to 128. Its attack went from 100 to 102. Its defense went from 135 to 140. Special attack went from 60 to 53. Special defense remains at 95, and its speed went from 80 to 77. So overall, I mean, Corviknight's insane. It can't have Unnerve anymore, though, which was one of the big benefits of GMAX Corv. Was Unnerve. Unnerve was really good in PokeRogue because like every Pokemon spams berries. So a little unfortunate in that regard, but yeah, definitely a little bit of a nerf to GMAX Corv, at least in terms of the ability. Now we have Orbeetle, which has Trace. It has 90 HP, used to have 75 HP, so they're definitely leaning into that, HP, like I said. Its 50 attack stat went down to 45. Its defense is 130 instead of 140. Special attack is up to 110 instead of 90. Special defense down from 150 down to 140, and then its speed went down from 100 to 90. A little bit more. Lost a little bit of bulk, a little bit more special attack on the go, and now it just has guaranteed Trace instead of Frisk, Telepathy, or Swarm, which is fine, honestly. Still a Bug Psychic type. Now we've got GMAX Dreadnought with Strong Jaw, so no longer able to Swift Swim or Shell Armor, it's forced into using Strong Jaw. It's still a Water Rock type. It's still got 115 HP. Its physical attack went down from 150 to 145. Physical defense went up from 110 to 115. Its special attack went down from 55 to 43, which is what I mean. They're overtuning them a bit. I think that's okay though. Its special defense went down actually from 85 to 83, and its speed went up from 70 to 84. Can't really take advantage of Swift Swim anymore, so they gave it a little bit more natural speed, I guess. I think losing Swift Swim is huge on this guy. I feel like Swift Swim on this thing would be really cracked, so that's a little unfortunate. Not really sure if it's like a buff or a nerf for him. Strong Jaw is strong though. GMAX Colossal has Steam Engine, is still a Rock Fire type. I think Steam Engine is the ability you would usually want to run on it, but and then its stats, for the most part, looks like they stay the same. It's got 140 HP, it's got 95 attack, Its 150 defense went down to 130. Its 95 special attack remains the same. Its 105 SpDef went up to 110, and its speed went from 25 to 40. Flapple, which is different to Appleton, right? Now has Hustle guaranteed. It remains 90 HP. Its 140 attack went down to 130. Its defense went up by 10, so from 90 to 100. Special attack went from 120 to 95, so special attack went down because it's leaning into Hustle. Special defense went up from 75 to 80, and its speed went up from 70 to 100. Overall, I think that's a pretty, I would say that's a buff. It's making him just faster and stronger. And then of course we've got GMAX Appleton, which is the same design, but it's a different Pokemon, trust. This thing keeps Thick Fat, which is good. Thick Fat's really good on him. You know, covers that ice weakness a little bit. His HP went down from 140 to 130. His physical attack went down from 95 to 75. His defense went up from 95 to 115. Special attack went down from 135 to 125. And his special defense went up from 95 to 115. So overall, just like making him a bit bulkier. Yeah, they definitely improved him here. I think this is a big improvement to this guy's stats. Then we've got Sandaconda. Sandaconda gained 27 points in HP, so from 90 to 117. Its physical attack went up by 2 points, 135 to 137. Physical defense went down though from 150 to 140. Its special attack went down from 75 to 55. Special defense remains the same, and its speed goes up by 1 point. At 81, and it's got Sand Spit still as its ability, which is what Sandaconda is famous for. Then we got Toxtricity, one of my favorite GMAX designs. Toxtricity GMAX has Punk Rock as its ability, so no able to run Technician or Minus anymore. You got Punk Rock, remains an electric poison type. GMAX Toxtricity has changed. It's got more HP, so up to 114 HP instead of 95. Physical attack went down though, from 118 to 98. Physical defense went up from 80 to 82. Special attack remains at 144. Special defense goes up from 80 to 82. Speed goes down from 85 to 82. A lot of 82s in here. I don't know if this thing's necessarily that like super good because type is a little awkward, and it's not the fastest thing in the world, but hey. Santa Scorch is up next with Flash Fire. No longer able to run Flame Body or White Smoke. It's only got Flash Fire. Its HP went up from 125 to 140. Its attack and its defense remains the same. Special attack goes down from 105 to 90. Its special defense goes down from 105 to 100, and then its speed goes up from 70 to 75. So this thing's a little bit faster, can make use of speed boost a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this thing's a bug fire type, but it's a pretty good one at that. It's good for mono bug runs because you can just send it in against the fire type. Pretty sure I won the mono bug run where I had a GMAX Santa Scorch. Hatterene! I don't know why the sprites are looking like this. Let me refresh. Much better. Okay. Hatterene has Magic Bounce. No longer able to run Anticipation or Healer. To be fair though, you're probably going to be wanting to run Magic Bounce anyway. Its HP goes up from 70 to 97, which is good. Physical attack goes down from 105 to 90. Good. Defense goes down from 110 to 105. That's fine. Special attack goes down from 160 to 146. Special defense goes down from 125 to 122, and then its speed goes up from 40 to 50. I mean, it's just buffs to its stats. I don't know if the old Hatterene is better or worse, but yeah, definitely more in line with I guess being a mega evolution. Now we've got Grimmsnarl, which has Prankster. Can no longer have Frisk or Pickpocket on it, which, I mean, were usable abilities. I think Prankster is the best of the three, but the other two are definitely usable. Its HP went up from 120 to 135. Its attack went down from 155 to 138. Its defense went up from 75 to 77, and then the other stats just appear to remain the same. Still a Dark Fairy type. After GMAX Grimmsnarl, we've got GMAX Alcremie, which has Misty Surge. Its HP went up from 80 to 135. Its attack went down from 70 to 60. Defense went down from 85 to 75. Special attack went down from 140 to 130. Special defense went down from 150 to 131. And then its speed went down from 65 to 64. So yeah, making a lot of sacrifices for that HP stat. I think that's fine. No complaints about this one. Misty Surge is a unique ability to it because usually it only gets Sweet Veil or Aroma Veil. So Misty Surge is unique to GMAX Alcremie. Copperajah, a Steel Ground type now. Okay, one of my least favorite designs for sure for a GMAX form, but you know, whatever. This thing has Mold Breaker, which Copperajah cannot access usually. So if you want Mold Breaker Copperajah, you need the GMAX form. HP went up from 150 to 167. Its attack went down from 160 to 155. Its defense went up from 80 to 89. Special attack went down from 90 to 80. Special defense went down up from 80 to 89, and its speed went down from 40 to 20. And yeah, it's a steel ground type. We've got Excadrill at home, I guess, or Fat Excadrill. I don't know, whatever you want to see it as. After Copperajah, we go to Duraludon, which is still a steel dragon type. I mean, yeah, it's got higher stats than it plays differently than Archiraludon though, because Archiraludon gets, you know, stamina, whereas this thing gets lightning rod. But yeah, went up from 90 HP to 100. Its attack went down from 110 to 105. Defense went down from 145 to 119. Special attack went up from 140 to 166. Special defense went down from 60 to 57, and its speed went down from 90 to 88. So a little bit more weakness in the special side. In the physical side, it's a little bit lower too, but special attack is a lot crazier, so it's going to be doing some mass damage. And we're getting to the end of our Gigantamax forms here. Urshifu single. I forgot these things had GMAX forms. I'm going to be so real. So I believe these things have the exact same stats. Yeah, these guys have the exact same stats. So they used to be 160 in physical attack. It is now 150. The HP remains the same. 115 in physical defense is now 120. Special attack went from 75 to 73. Special defense went from 70 to 70 still, and speed went from 100 to 117. So they took away just some, you know, physical offense, just some physical attack, physical defense, and special attack, and just put it in the speed stat, probably to outspeed something specific. But yeah, that is all the GMAX form changes. I like the type changes. I think that's good fun. Something I saw people discussing actually was they were upset that PokeRogue is pretty much making Fakemon at this point, which is something that I kind of felt, but I feel like, I mean, just adding Gigantamax forms to the game and giving them plus 100 base stat total, that already in itself was a Fakemon. So to then go on and complain that they gave Blastoise the water steel type and, you know, shell armor, that isn't something that exists in the main games, but neither was a plus 100 base that total Blastoise that was GMAX. Like, that didn't exist either. So I think at this point, PokeRogue, I think it's fine if they take some creative, you know, liberties. Like, obviously, like Honeygather doesn't work in this game like it does in PokeRogue. Like, I think if Pokemon were to make PokeRogue, they would make some adjustments to the gameplay and how certain moves and abilities work, maybe even more so than the PokeRogue devs have. I do like PokeRogue remaining true to the main series games the best that they can, but they've already kind of delved into Fakemon territory by adding, you know, egg moves that Pokemon can't get normally, and passive abilities, and like there's so much that the game does that isn't a legitimate Pokemon game that it feels silly to complain about water steel type Blastoise. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that doesn't exist. Yeah, but neither does a plus 100, neither does Blastoise with Sturdy and, you know, these passive abilities, and you get what I'm coming from. So I'm personally on board with these changes. I like that they're treating them more like mega evolutions. Of course, let me know your thoughts on all of these changes in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you want to see like a tier list maybe of like me ranking all these GMAX forms. I'm going to say a big fat thank you to you all for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and let me know your favorite change as well from the from these forms, I guess. Have a good one.